I have to admit that it's 54 years since I last watched a race on the mountain, and here I am watching the lightweight and ultra lightweight race 2 of the 2018 Manx Grand Prix Festival at Brandywell, the junction at the end of Halewood Heights, the marshal's cabin there, and the desolate but splendid views out over Douglas. Let's battle commence. The first two riders to come round the bend are number 2 Andrew Farrell on his Kawasaki, chased by number 3 Gary Vines on his Yamaha. And not too long to wait for number 5 David Lumsden on his Kawasaki. Two riders in very close order now. Number 8 David Butler on his Kawasaki and Brad Vickers on a similar machine. And this is number 6, Gareth Evans, also on a Kawasaki. The distinctive sound of number 9, James Corks Payton. The road then went quiet for nearly a minute until the arrival of number 11, Bike Big Bill, Leon Murphy, followed in close order by Roger Wibberley on his Suzuki number 12. That was number 15, Jamie Edwards on his Suzuki, member of the Slide Sports team. Another pair of Kawasaki's, number 18, David Quine, and number 16, Stephen Horn. Completing that trio of Kawasaki's is number 17, Richard Stubbs. Close racing again. Number 52 is Michael Rees on his Kawasaki, and he's followed by number 49, James Hurd on his Yamaha. The Kawasaki is a dominant bike type in this race. Number 46, Barry Sheehan. The yellow machine is number 24, a Kawasaki ridden by Richard Saville, and he's followed by the green Kawasaki number 48, ridden by Paul O'Rourke. and they're followed by the Suzuki number 21, ridden by Keith Clark. Real cluster of bikes there. Number 45 is a Kawasaki ridden by Daniel Fernandez. Number 50 is a Suzuki ridden by Daniel Kapper. Number 28 is a Kawasaki ridden by Trevor Matthewson, and number 40 was ridden by Paul Wardell, but I have no photograph of that. And whilst I was talking, Ali Foster on bike number 32, a Kawasaki, rushed past my filming position. That's a duet of Kawasaki's. Was number 51 ridden by Yoshihiro Kishimoto, and number 42 ridden by Peter Moore. 3 Kawasaki's and a Suzuki in the next sequence. Tommy Hendry number 26, Brian Appleton number 23, Jack Fowler number 55, and Ray Maloney on the green bike number 54. We'll allow the clouds to scud slowly across the course as we await the arrival of rider number 53 with an unpronounceable name, Veronica Hankakiovia from Kawasaki. Veronica is followed by number 29, Renzo van der Donkt on a Kawasaki. A couple of Suzuki's now, number 41, Ian Stanford, and number 30, Alan Thomas. And here they are in close-up. Two more Suzuki's now. That's of number 36, John Bain, and following him will be number 35, ridden by Wayne Martin. Now we have the first of the ultra lightweight machines, Daryl Tweed, number 59, on a Kawasaki. And he's followed by number 33, Paul Williams, on a Suzuki. Paul, I think, is the final lightweight class rider on his first lap. The next ultra lightweight rider interview is Alex Sinclair, number 64 on a Yamaha. And he's followed by the Hondas, number 60, Steve Moody, and number 67, Daniel Ingham. that was the Kawasaki of Andrew Cowie, number 66, and he was followed by the Honda, number 65 of Tom Snow. And hard on their heels is the Honda of number 61, Mike Carter. And this is the Honda number 72 of a regular campaigner in the Manx Grand Prix, Nigel Moore. And this is number 73, Derek Wilkie, on his Kawasaki. Number 62 on a Honda is a Danish competitor, Karsten Svensson. A little wait, which indicates that we're nearing the end of the first lap, but we see number 70 coming into view on a Honda, Bob Millinchip. Quite a little wait, and then the lap is brought to a close by number 68, Kevin Murphy, Irish Ago, on his Honda. And two of the dedicated marshals survey the scene as they too await the arrival of the first competitors in lap 2 of the lightweight class, who of course are almost at the end of their second lap. And here is the first of those riders, number 5, David Lumsden, on the Martin Bullock Manxport Kawasaki. And for the second time we see and hear number 9, James Chalk, on the Phaeton. Next we see Brad Vickers, number 4, on his Kawasaki. Right behind him are the pair of Kawasaki's ridden by Gareth Evans, number 6, and David Butler, number 8. And then the familiar minutes wait before we see number 15, Jamie Edwards, on his Suzuki, and David Quine, number 18, on his Kawasaki. then Big Bill, Leon Murphy on number 11, as Kawasaki hoves into view. The still image first of number 16, Stephen Home, arriving on his Kawasaki. Private race within a race for the next three bikes. Number 17 Richard Stubbs on his Kawasaki, number 49 James Hind on his Yamaha, and number 52 Michael Rees on his Suzuki. For the second time we see number 12 Roger Weberly on his Suzuki. Well, that was all pretty hectic. Slight delay before the arrival of number 48, Paul O'Rourke, on a Kawasaki. Kawasaki's always seem to be green. Just to prove me wrong, Barry Sheehan's Kawasaki number 46 is far from green. After a little wait, we see four riders in quick succession. Keith Clark, number 21, of the Izzard Racing team on his Suzuki, number 28 and 45 Trevor Mathewson and Daniel Fernandez, and number 50 Dan Capper on his Suzuki. The next trio is made up of number 40 Paul Wardell on his Suzuki, Yoshihiro Kishimoto on his Kawasaki number 51, and the third runner is Ali Foster, number 32, also on a Kawasaki. I failed to get a still photograph of Yoshihiro Kishimoto, but I didn't miss number 55, Jack Fowler, on his Kawasaki. Neither did I miss number 54, Ray Maloney, on his Kawasaki, nor Brian Appleton, number 23, on his Suzuki. Ploughing a fairly lonely furrow, we see another Kawasaki, this time ridden by Renzo van der Donkt, number 29. The next rider in view is number 53 from the Czech Republic, Veronika Hankošová. After a short delay, we see the first of the ultra-lightweights, Daryl Tweed, number 59, on his Kawasaki, and he's followed by Alan Thomas, number 30. Another trio of lightweight Suzukis now. The first of these is number 36, John Bain. The next member of the trio is number 35, Wayne Martin, on a very smart Suzuki. Paul Williams, number 33, on his Suzuki, is closely followed by number 67, an ultra lightweight rider, Daniel Ingham, on his Honda. Next we have Alex Sinclair on his Yamaha, number 64, being chased by the yellow bike of Tom Snow, which is a Honda. And very close behind them is number 66, Andrew Cowie's Kawasaki. Steve Moody's Honda, number 60, comes past us in fine style. As does the Honda of Mike Carter, number 61. We waited a little while there for the arrival of Nigel Moore, number 72, on his Honda. Karsten Svensson, number 62, had a moment there on his Honda when his foot came off the foot peg, but no such problem for Richard Saville on his Kawasaki, number 24. The last of the lightweights, I think. The marshal's flag came out because Karsten Svensson had some sort of problem and pulled over just round the next bend. We're nearing the end of the second lap for both of the classes now, and this is Derek Wilkie, an ultra lightweight rider, number 73. And ultra lightweight number 70 is Bob Millingship on his Honda. And finally, Irish Aggo brings down the curtain on the second lap for the lightweight class. And the curtain is raised on lap 3 by Andrew Farrell, number 2 on his Kawasaki, and Gary Vines, number 3 on his Yamaha. James Chalk, number 9 on the Glorious Patton, and number 5 David Lumsden on his Kawasaki are next. Not to be outdone, number 8 David Butler on his Kawasaki is next and in hot pursuit. The usual 1 minute delay before we see number 6 Gareth Evans and number 4 Brad Vickers on their Kawasaki's. Brad Vickers goes through in fine style, and then it's nearly a minute before David Quine comes through on a Kawasaki, and he's then followed by number 15 Jamie Edwards. For the third time we see Roger Wibberley's Suzuki, number 12. And now a pair of Kawasaki's. The first of these is 52, Michael Reese, and behind him is Leon Murphy, Big Bill, number 11. Another closely matched pair in hot pursuit, number 49 James Hyde on his Yamaha and Stephen Horn on his Kawasaki, number 16. Just like Christmas, Richard Stubbs' Kawasaki, number 17, keeps coming round. After that bit of activity, another minute's silence before we see number 40, Paul Wardell on his Suzuki. Paul is followed by Daniel Fernandez, number 45, on his Kawasaki. Two more in close order, number 28, Trevor Mathewson on his Kawasaki, and Keith Clark, the Izzard Racing Suzuki, number 21. Daniel Capper, number 50, is still circulating very well on his Suzuki. Two Kawasaki's hurrying through, Barry Sheehan's number 46 and Jack Fowler's number 55. Also Ali Foster, number 32. Another one with his knee on the ground, Yasuhiro Kishimoto on his Kawasaki. And this is number 54, Ray Maloney, once again on his Kawasaki, riding safely. Renzo van der Donk's Kawasaki, number 29, is followed by Brian Appleton's Suzuki, number 23. Next, our friend Veronica from the Czech Republic, number 53 on the Kawasaki. I absolutely love the graphics on that helmet. And the next rider up is the first of the ultra lightweights on his final lap, Daryl Tweed, number 59 on his Kawasaki. Almost half a minute before the arrival of Alan Thomas, another of the later running lightweight machines, number 30 on his Suzuki. Three ultra lightweight machines will now hurry through. Number 64, Alex Sinclair's Yamaha. Number 66, Andrew Cowie's Kawasaki with his knee down on the floor. And number 65, Tom Snow on his Honda. This is number 36, John Bain, the lightweight Suzuki. And this is number 60, Steve Moody on his ultra lightweight classed Honda. Again, it's the best part of 3/4 of a minute before two lightweight class Suzukis hurry past. Number 33, the mount of Paul Williams, and number 35, that of Wayne Martin. This time it's the ultra lightweight class Honda number 61 of Mike Carter that hoves into view. Another lengthy interval before the arrival of Richard Saville on his Kawasaki number 24 in the lightweight class. Two more ultra lightweight machines are coming through now. Number 73, Derek Wilkie on his Kawasaki, and Bob Millinship on his Honda number 70. All the ultra lightweight class bikes have now passed this particular viewing point because theirs is only a 3-lap race, so the remaining bikes that we should see are in the lightweight class, and they of course still have another lap to do. Although I've labelled this lap 4, last lap, these lads have only got 6 miles to go on their final lap because of where we are at Brandywell. Windy Corner, Keppelgate, Cregnebar, Brandish Corner, Hilbury, Signpost, until they finally arrive via Governor's Bridge to the finish at Glencrushery Road and the checkered flag. And that was the Kawasaki of Andrew Farrell and the Yamaha of Gary Vines, number 3, well on their way to the finishing line. About a 30-second wait for the next 2 riders to appear, both on Kawasaki's, number 5 David Lumsden and number 8 Dave Butler. It was actually nearly 3 minutes before Brad Vickers, the next rider, appeared, number 4 on his Kawasaki, and that was reflected in the total race time difference between Brad and the 4th place man, David Lumsden. There was then another gap of 30 seconds or so before the arrival of number 18, David Quine on his Kawasaki, and Jamie Edwards on his Suzuki. They were actually very close together, which was a reflection of their total race times on the leaderboard. Michael Rees, number 52 on his Kawasaki, was quickly through in pursuit. Almost immediately, Roger Wibberley on his Suzuki, number 12, arrives, pursued by James Hind on his Yamaha. Equally close were the Kawasaki's of Richard Stubbs and Big Bill Leon Murphy, number 17 and 11. Next in view is number 16, Stephen Horn on his Kawasaki. A dash of colour in the distance as Daniel Fernandez, number 45, appears around the right hand bend. After about half a minute's wait, we welcome Keith Clark, number 21, on his Suzuki for the final time. And he's followed by the Kawasaki of Jack Fowler, number 55. Jack is pursued by the Suzuki of Daniel Capper, number 50. In very quick succession now, the Kawasaki's of Renzo van der Donkt, Ali Foster and Ray Maloney. My wife reckoned that the graphics on Barry Sheehan's Kawasaki made him look like a Bassett's Licorice Allsart. Judge for yourself. No offence meant by that observation. And here comes number 23, Brian Appleton, on his Suzuki. And this is the Kawasaki all the way from the Czech Republic, number 53, Veronika Hakuliova. Another minute and then we hear and see John Bain's Suzuki, number 36. A much shorter delay before we see the very colourful Suzuki number 33 of Paul Williams. With the exception of the travelling marshal's motorcycle, Richard Saville's Kawasaki number 24 is the last competitor on the road, and he sails through. As I indicated just now, the arrival of the travelling marshal indicates the end of a splendid morning's racing, and I will publish the results at the end of the little film, which I trust that you've enjoyed.